So marriage has been compared to a lot of different things, okay? But I haven't heard it compared to this, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And part of the reason I haven't heard that, because I love a fresh take. I haven't heard that fresh take is I think because adulting is just adulting, and adulting can inadvertently have us take our relationships for granted, not on purpose, but we do. And one of the aspects and elements that we can take for granted when we're doing all the adulting is actually enjoying our partner's company and having a good time. So if you've been in a situation where somebody asks you, hey, so when's the last time you and your spouse had fun? And you're searching for it and you can't find it, this is for you because we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. What are the things, the real life things that are blocking us from having that fun and enjoying our spouse's company? And what can we do differently just to make it easy to fold that kind of fun and enjoyment into our lives? Let's talk about it. So I said I hadn't heard marriage be compared to a lot of things, but I also have heard, no, I said I have heard marriage be compared to a lot of things. That's what I said. That's what I meant. And hey, English major, I love a good simile. We've heard like marriage is a garden. You've got to water it. We've heard marriage is like a house. You got to build a strong foundation. If you're going to build on top of it, the foundation is cracked. We can go real deep on that one. Um, and we've heard marriage is like a business, right? It's like contractual, your partners, your teammates, you have common goals, all of those things. I've heard all of those things. It's pretty widespread to hear any of those. What I haven't heard is marriage is like a good comedy set. So I have been watching, this is the inspiration for this video. I have been watching Kevin Hart's Funny AF. I enjoy, okay, a good comedian, a good stand-up comedy show. I love to laugh. For several years right now, when things have just been heavy and things in the world are so heavy, I've been big on having some levity. Okay. I like comedy. I like stand-up comedy, not just as entertainment, but I enjoy the craft of comedy. I enjoy watching people execute that craft well. So I'm a little bit nerdy about it, which, is very like me. But I've been watching it and I was like, yeah, because I think in relationships, I was like, no one's ever said marriage is like a good comedy set. And here's why. A good comedy set, a comedian comes on stage and for their goal is to get the audience to laugh. In order to do that, right, in order to make sure the audience feels good and comfortable and is enjoying their company, they need to be listening to things that the audience members are saying. They need to be listening and observant of how they're reacting. They need to pivot when they realize something isn't quite landing. They need to be flexible and think a little bit on their feet, even though they have been working on their set and practicing their set. They still need to be flexible. They need to be aware of the energy in the room. They need to bring their own energy. They need to be honest and transparent and not BSing, and it can't feel like a performance. It needs to feel genuine because they're genuinely coming to this space. It's a give and take. There is no comedy set without an audience. You can't just go up on the stage and like they feed off the audience and the audience feeds off them. It's a very it's a good relationship and a good set. You will be laughing, you'll have good energy, it'll feel right, it'll feel good, you'll feel heard, you'll feel listened to, you'll feel a part of it, you'll feel engaged. And a bad comedy set, because I said marriage is like a good comedy set, but marriage is just like a comedy set because a bad comedy set, someone comes on and they're not doing any of the things. They're not paying attention to the crowd. They're not filling out the energy. They're not pivoting. They're not flexible. They're not aware of what they're saying. They're not coming with a sense of transparency and genuineness. And the audience feels that and it's like, crickets. And it's like secondhand embarrassment. It's so cringe because it's like they're out there on that stage on a limb by themselves. And they're they're just not feeling the energy that they want to feel. It feels very uncomfortable. There's a strong level of embarrassment and discomfort and wanting to just get out of here and wanting to run, but you're like, I can't run. How do I make this work? I don't know how to fix it. I have fumbled and I don't know how to get it back. Is that sounding? I mean, come on. And when a relationship isn't feeling so great, same thing. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're adulting. Like, I love this analogy. I'm in my comedy era, and I'm going to ride that analogy. But yeah, adulting has a lot of responsibilities. We have so much that we have to do that adulting can feel like a chore. And kids didn't like chore. We didn't like it as kids. And most people are now like, man, I can't wait to mop my floor today, even as adults. But we have responsibilities. We do things that we don't feel like doing when we don't feel like doing it, because it is our responsibility to do so. And that can sometimes feel like a chore. And when something feels like a chore, we just do it because we got to do it. And if enjoyment and fun and connection in our relationships feels like a chore, then we're just gonna do it because we feel like we have to do it. Like, we're just gonna be phoning it in. It's not gonna be that genuine comedy set exchange. We're not gonna be feeling the energy. It's not gonna feel good to us a lot of times, because our energy level is on exhaustion. It's on E a lot of the time. And we really can take for granted, even though we don't want to, the times that we have and the simplicity of how we can approach this thing. So one of the things that I would say is a barrier for a lot of us when we feel like, okay, you're not having fun, is that we are trying to recreate the fun we used to have and don't, especially if you have children. Well, don't rely on that. I won't say that. I'm a very nuanced, living the gray girl. So let me explain. If you have kids, there's your life before kids and there's your life after kids. Okay, there's BC and there's AC. All right, it's just what it is. And it does not mean, because people like to, I know some people like to argue with you in your head when you're saying stuff. You got to be careful on these. You want to be able to hit all the nuances as best you can. But there's definitely a difference in energy. You can still do certain things with children. Absolutely. You can still travel, you can do the things, but it's different because you have like other tiny humans you are responsible for, completely feeding them, making sure they are clothed and housed and well, all of the things. When before kids, you were the only human you had to take care of. So if you needed to eat cereal and grilled cheese for a week, that's what you did. Okay. So it's just different. And I can't tell you how many times I'm asking somebody, okay, what did you do for fun? What do you like to do? Well, I remember, we really liked to we were backpacking through Europe, and we used to go out, to the clubs a few times a week and go dancing. And we had this, routine where we would just like rock climb and then go for lunch or brunch and just stay out all afternoon. I was like, "Oh, that sounds amazing." When you was this before kids? And they'd be like, "Yeah," and their oldest kid is like 12. So they're reminiscing, which is fine. I love a good nostalgia moment. We love it. But they're reminiscing about what used to be fun before children. How many of us have done that? Started thinking about, I definitely have nostalgic moments like what we used to do together when it was just he and I. It's cool. It's fine. Let me know if you've had the same experience below, okay? If you feel me, but feel you. But the issue with that is that now your life and your lifestyle has changed. So yes, that was fun. And if you can somehow squeeze that in to your current life once a quarter, once a year, whatever that looks like, it's not going to be frequent because, the tiny humans, again, great. That's awesome when we can do that. But like, what's fun to you now? What's fun to me, is might sound boring. What's fun to me now is I like riding in cars with boys. Okay. But really, it's just one boy, and it's not a boy, it's a man, and that man is my husband. I like us being in the car together, going on road trips. And yes, our kids are in the back doing their own thing, maybe sleep, but I'm in the passenger seat. So I can pretend sometimes, like, it's just me and you. And we're so goofy. So we have fun, we crack jokes, we listen to music, we sing out loud, and we just look at each other in that way they sometimes do in rom-coms, and without saying anything. It's really cute. You have to just imagine it. But it's just a moment. And I love that. That is one of the things that I found fun. And that's one of the things that we did often, as a couple, not every month, but that was probably more like a quarterly thing where we would do road trips. And then if it was just someplace we were going in the car for a while, as long as there wasn't traffic that, gave people attitudes, we would enjoy each other's company, right, in the car. I enjoy simple things like walking places with him that we haven't been to before, and like, let's go down this street and discover what's here. We did that in the States, and we can do it here. Like, what's down there? Let's walk a little further. I mean, we are sweating, we're hot doing it here, depending on if it's midday or not. But just the experience of being able to do that with him, going out for a smoothie, or, you know, getting some tea or something like that. Simple stuff is fun because we're goofy. We usually end up laughing. We usually having a good time. I had these friends, the couple, they like to go to amusement parks without their kids. Okay. They went to like Disney World without their kids, living it up, loving it. I'm personally not down for amusement parks, but they love it. And some people are like, oh, that's not right. You went without your kids. I'm over here like, yes. Okay. That's amazing. Tell me more, tell me your ways. That's great, because that's something you particularly would do with kids, and they're doing it on their own, and that's fun for them. One thing that I forgot, my husband and I will go to a park. We like to be on the swings, we'll push each other, and just kick it. Okay, without our children. Sometimes our children are there playing, and we'll like, hey, y'all play here, we gonna go walk the track. So walk around the playground. So it's simple for me. Those fun moments. Just being in the house pillow fighting with this man, because that's our personalities are just wild. We can't quite agree on who's goofiest. But I say all of that to say and to share, what is fun for you now? We drop into that space of like, not like what used to be fun, you can bring it back if you can, but what do you enjoy right now with your partner? Because if you don't know, it's hard to even anchor when life is lifing and things are chaotic and busy, to what fun could look like for you. Is it cooking together? It could be cooking dinner together. If you gotta cook, then you could do it together. One's a chef, one's sous, you know what I mean, a sous chef. And maybe that's something that you both can enjoy together. Maybe it's just like 5 minute dance party while y'all cleaning up the kids' toys that they didn't pick up, because you were like, I'm so tired, I'm not gonna ask you to pick this up. It's gonna take 45 minutes. It'll take 15 if I do it. You're just gonna go to bed. It's fine. What that might be fun for you, just because you guys bonded over music or something to that nature, right? So all of that matters. So no time might have passed for you here because I pressed pause, but my son, toddler, was supposed to be asleep, woke up and ran out here when I thought he was asleep. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure exactly where I was, but I do know I was talking about the fact that you've got to lean into what is fun for you now. I would say the second thing is really just not overcomplicating the time it takes to have fun. You don't need to go away for a whole weekend, because how often are you going to do that? You don't need to have 4 hours of quality time together to really enjoy each other's company and have fun. It can fold into what you're already doing. It can fold into life, how it is. And we if we overthink that, it's not going to fold into our lives at all. So I think that's a big barrier. Trying to recapture fun when we had a completely different lifestyle, and then overthinking how much time we actually need to just enjoy each other's company and have fun. Um, so take the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the 30 minutes, whatever it is. I saw something flying, y'all. I saw it on the monitor. Okay. I just have to check what that was. Um, but yeah, taking the time to figure out, just like, let's do this thing together. Let's take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let's cook together, whatever it is. Don't overthink it. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to be in it. We're just going to enjoy it. And yeah, you might be saying to yourself, well, I'm not in the best space with my spouse. We've been feeling distant for a while. It's been chore like, and we're doing what we have to do because we're doing it. You may be going through the motions. We may feeling a little roommate-esque. I'm a big proponent of grabbing the lowest hanging fruit that you can to move the needle and to move forward. And sometimes that might be as simple as sending them one funny thing. In the age of social media, you can send a TikTok or an Instagram reel or something on Facebook that you found funny, and just share it with them. Because one, that says, that I'm thinking about you and I want to share in this laugh with you, that might be enough to break some ice, to get a response, to open things up, even if just for a moment. And so sometimes when we feel stuck, sometimes when we feel like I'm not sure how we're going to get out of this space that we're in because we've been in it for so long, what else is there for us to do? We're almost comfortable with the discomfort of it or the awkwardness of it or the distance of it all. You got to do something to break out of that discomfort. What is the simplest, lowest hanging fruit? And asynchronous communication, if that's been challenging, where you're just sending a little something, hey, I saw this, thought you would think it was funny too. You know what I mean? Um, and I think one of the tricks, unless your spouses are really, really on social media like that, they're on TikTok a lot, they're on Instagram a lot. I often will send it, but I'll send it to a text message or a WhatsApp because that's what we're using out here. But I'll send it via text message. So somehow that small tweak makes it feel a little bit more personal because you're not just sending it within the app, you're sending it as a text. And like that's specific for them. And if they're interacting with their texts all day, they're more likely to respond to it. Okay, that's just a little pro tip, a little tweak. But yeah, I want us all to have more fun and enjoyment together and to not complicate it and to not stop ourselves and to not live in the nostalgia of our past. Like visit the nostalgia of your past. We just don't want to live there. And yeah, and we find that we have much more fun, that it doesn't feel as much of a chore. You're tired, be tired together. Like it's great. And these are just some of the things. I know there can be many barriers to connection time, to dating, to really making that a lifestyle. And I did a master class on this, like how to get more time, quality connection time in when you feel like you have no time. And I have a master class on this that if you that's interesting to you, I talk about every barrier that I have heard from couples and that I understand as a couple myself over the last 10, almost 10 years. Every barrier I address, hey, this is a real barrier, you're exhausted. This is a real barrier, you don't have support for somebody to watch your kids. Like, this is a real barrier. How do you approach this in this masterclass? If that's of interest to you, then please check me in the description. And I got a little something for you there. Meet me there. And for the rest of you, I hope this was a good conversation. I hope this was an eye opener. I hope this was interesting. I hope this got your wheels turning a little bit and something resonated with you. If it did, let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, it really helps, to give it a little thumbs up. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and for you listening and hanging out with me a bit. And roll call. Okay. If you've gotten this far, please say hey and let me know who you are, that you are here, and that this isn't the one-sided conversation it feels like. I'm imagining you on the other end. So if you're still here, thank you. Please say hey in the comments. All right. I'm Imani Aisha. I'm here making videos to encourage and remind us to stay connected to yourself, to your spouse, and to creating the life that feels good to you. And if that's your vibe, please subscribe and let's continue on this journey together. Let's continue the conversations. We've got some amazing, juicy, just like elevating ones already going on here in the channel. And I'd love to continue that with you. So thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.